Hi everyone, this is Arpad from StarPath Academy, and today I want to talk a little bit about what to do if your spouse is not prepping. This is a question that comes up a lot during live YouTube videos, but also in members area of Patreon and buymeacoffee.com/StarPath Academy. So a lot of people are asking, what to do. Can I give them some tips on how they can get their spouse more into the preparedness mindset, alternative investing, and that sort of stuff. So we'll be talking about this topic a little bit. However, I do want to make an announcement today, and which is that I will be releasing a book next year. So the book is titled Portfolio for the Apocalypse, and it will be about sharing experiences and stories and lessons, hard lessons learned from people who were stuck behind the falling Iron Curtain in Eastern Europe, and exploring possible ways of how to prepare and how to also adjust your investment portfolio in a way where you're more prepared for an economic collapse, hyperinflation, and civil unrest. So we'll see how that goes. There's a lot of sections that I still need to put together. It will be done sometime next year. However, if we could speed up the process a little bit, so that would be great. If you're interested in pre-purchasing the ebook, then I will have a link to where you can do that on buymeacoffee.com/StarPath Academy. I will put a link in the description under the video, and you can read about what the book is going to be about a little bit. And if you're interested, then you can pre-purchase it, and as soon as the book will be released, you will be one of the first few ones that who will get the ebook. Now there's only 500 places left to be in the first 500 people who are supporting this project. So I'm really excited about this. Thank you very much for all your support, and I do want to personally thank Teresa, William, and Michael for already claiming their book. They're claiming their Portfolio for the Apocalypse ebook pre-sale. So thank you very much, and it should be good. So we'll make sure of that, and I'll be working really hard. So thank you very much. Now to continue with the video about spouses and the question of prepping and introducing the topic and so on. So whenever I'm looking at relationship issues, I'm always looking at it from the perspective of what I can do, what I can fix immediately from the person who's asking, right? Because that's the person who initiated the talk, and who is willing to make change in order to make something work. So we want to work on that person, which is in case if you're listening, right? Even better if you're listening with your spouse. But so when these things pop up, it's actually a sign of something much deeper. Just you not being on the same page usually is a communication problem, or not growing together type of problem, and not spending enough time together problem, which is much deeper and probably went on for quite some time, months, maybe even years, but this is where it pops up. So we want to go back and solve the original issue, what is causing the frustration, not just the symptom of the frustration. Most of the times it's just not spending enough time together and not communicating. So when the branches of the relationship grow, and you are being a different person every year because you're growing, you're learning, You have to make sure in a relationship that you're growing together and you are both aware of the other person's needs, wants, and wishes and hopes, right? And usually that's where the mismatch is, that maybe you have been listening to videos, prepping videos, or economic videos or investment videos on yourself, by yourself, while you're driving to work every morning. You're listening to the podcast and something like that, and she or he is not really involved in and how you are growing towards this direction. So that is something that you need to work on, right? Now, the in order to help the issue, is you actually might have to scale back on your prepping, or need or want to prep, in order to be able to spend more time with your spouse and fix the issue fundamentally. So let's just say you are prepping at, if we could measure, right, a scale of prepping from 0 to 10, you're prepping at level 7 or something, like maybe 9. Let's just say 9. That's the level you want to start immediately to prep, because things are imminent and so on. And your spouse is at level 0, right? So the preparedness level of the family is 9, because you're the only one who's prepping. Well, actually, it might be counterintuitive, but maybe you want to step it back a couple of notches, right? Maybe you want to step it back to 5, 4, whatever your spouse is more comfortable with, and then use that time that you have gained by not spending so much time in looking for Campbell's soup at Walmart to to do things together, because that's what we want to solve. We want to solve the solution. We want to solve the problem in the relationship where you're growing together. So you want to scale back a little bit and reconnect with her in order to grow together now again from the level that she or he is comfortable with. So that means that instead of a full-blown preparedness, monetary policy, and that sort of stuff, maybe you want to go back to level 4 or level 3 or something like that, which just might be traditional lifestyle. Prepping in most of the cases is actually prepping against what or for what? Well, not being dependent on the system. Well, people back 100 years ago, or even 50 or 20 years ago, were not that dependent on the system. So maybe you could look at some aspects of life from that era that you both might enjoy and learn together, right? And this could be very simple thing. Gardening is one thing, but also many culinary stuff, food prepping, food preparing stuff, making cheese together, making sausage together, learning how to make sauerkraut, or maybe learning how to do woodworking together, or some other stuff, but also a skill that makes you more valuable and less dependent on the system, right? That's a really good start, actually. If you can make things from very basic ingredients or very basic, supplies, right? Or materials, and you could be making knives or something, it doesn't matter, but as long as you do it together and you both enjoy it. So you could pick even courses if you want. There are some online courses. Maybe you can pick out courses in person that you could go to with a group and learn how to make goat cheese, or learn how to slaughter a pig or chicken or something like that. It might be weird, but if you really insist, I'm pretty sure your spouse might be intrigued why you want to do this, and he'll just go along with you, and you'll actually have a fun time. So, or pick something that you both like. Now, in order to make it easier to do this, usually following Instagram channels or YouTube channels that are more in not a full-blown prepping channel, but sort of more of a traditional lifestyle channel. You could follow both, or you could follow it by yourself, and then if you find some interesting things that the family that on Instagram does. You can send the post to her, have a talk about it in the afternoon. How nice it would be if you guys would try together, make it into a couples activity. So do more and more couples activity, because through that you will get to reconnect with the person and they will get to reconnect with you. So that is the important things to do, right? And eventually if you start liking doing this more and more, you can just go, up a notch a little bit. But always go on her speed or your spouse's speed, and not push. You don't want to be pushed into a direction that you don't want to go. Then why would you do that to someone else, right? You actually want the other person to be intrigued. You want to tell about your wants and needs, and have fun. It's very important to have fun. So there's a lot of good prepping channels out there that I like. However, many of them are, more of in a imminent, everything needs to be done soon, you're already too late, buy this, do that. And most of the cases they're right, to be honest, but that might not be really good start for someone who's not even interested in the topic. So you want to be sure that you're not pushing anyone, but you're actually, making interesting choices and making the other person interested in what you are already interested. But that also might come that you might come with something that you might need to do, and join your spouse in different activities that you might not be that interested, or you think that you might not be interested. And it could be something very different than prepping. But that's that's how life is. If you want to live in a relationship and happy life, then both of you need to be able to adjust. And as you're initiating this, if you live in a good relationship, this should be no problem, and the other person will adjust to see you happy as well, because usually that's what we want for our spouse anyway. So of course, some relationships are different, and you might need to do relationship counseling or something. But I hope this gives you a couple of tips of what you could do. Now, actually, just for Instagram models, because I'm thinking traditional life, for the ladies, it could be something off the top of my head. 5 Marys on Instagram is really interesting, but also just traditional moms with young, interesting families. It doesn't always have to be going back to very basics. It could be something where they are living in a farm, having this trendy farm life, and they are enjoying it. And enjoyment and fun and lightheartedness is probably the biggest part of the equation, where you want the other person to be introduced to something that you want to live. For men, it could be Wrangler Star or one of those channels. It doesn't always have to be like full-on preparedness, but as long as they're fun, they're enjoying what they're doing, you're gonna have fun. Actually, if you wouldn't mind, viewers, to put in Instagram channel names, YouTube channel names that are more of a traditional lifestyle channel that actually would help people in order to get their spouses interested in topics like this, that would be great. So I would really appreciate if you would comment channel names like that. But also be sure to like the video and share it with your spouse or whoever you want to share it with, because you have to be in a strong relationship in order to survive. It's physically, but also spiritually, mentally. It's very, very important for you to have someone to care for, and for you to be cared for by someone else. So that is very, very important. As the saying goes, if you want to go fast or travel fast, go alone. But if you want to travel for a long distance, go together. And that is very, very important. And economic calamities are happen suddenly, but they last a long time, and you want to make sure that your family lasts through it. So back to the levels again. Hopefully, you were prepping at level 9, going back to 5, right? But then as your spouse gets in as well, you're going back to level 7, right? Maybe, and your spouse is now level 6, and suddenly the family's level increased from 9 that you were working against the relationship to level 13 with some extra synergy points or something like that, and you're working together and life becomes much more enjoyable. So stepping back sometimes and working on the things that are really important in life is okay, actually is probably advised. So let me know what you think about that. We can always have more tips and tricks, but I just wanted to fit in a couple of in less than 16-17 minutes. So hopefully you'll be able to make some changes in life and make life much more enjoyable together with your spouse and family. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.